Have you always wanted to start your own business, your own nonprofit? Are you a closet entrepreneur? Well, Kessa Gooden can help you set up everything from your 501c status in less than 90 days. Help with business taxes and back taxes. She's your personal business assistant. So contact her today at www.camfinancialsgroup.com. That's KAM Financialsgroup.com.
All right, so we can push on already. Wait. So we'll just take a few minutes and we'll have people to make comments. Take a few minutes. Once it's 6 exactly, kick off. Once it's 6 exactly, we'll kick off. In the meantime, let everybody just keep seeing Kessa. Kessa, let them see you. They should keep saying you. This is you for everybody to see.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so we have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I will just give, we have 1 more minute and then we begin the session. 1 more minute, 1 more minute. Okay. So I'm really eager to start this session. I don't think I can wait 1 more minute. I don't think I can wait 1 more minute. So I just want us to start. If that's fine by you, Kessa. That's fine by you.
Sure. Sure, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Our conversation today is be brave with your life. Be brave with your life. That's the conversation for today. But before I go in, I want to apologize for having this session in my car. Okay, so I'm not able to get get home right now, and I have to do this here. So I'm very sorry for the background and everything, but we promise that we're going to deliver very, very amazing content. All right, so we're looking at be brave with your life. Now, when I shared the introductory statement for this particular session, I said that bravery is no more an exclusive experience for a few persons. Before this time, bravery was attributed to few persons that had the courage to take up certain responsibilities and certain things in society per se. But you see, as each year opens up, come to realize that bravery has become an important aspect, an important part of our human existence. To actually make wave, to actually live a fulfilled life, you must, as a matter of supreme importance, have a level of bravery. You must have this confidence within you that you need to face life, because there's this thing they always say, that life will not always give you what you want. You have to demand from life what you want. All right. So very quickly, Kessa, I want you to just give an introductory comment on this. Let's hear you, Kessa.
Hi, guys. Welcome. And thank you so much, David, for having me here today. It's an honor for me to be here with you guys and get to share my perspective on bravery and how, when you are brave, you can persevere through life and thrive through life. So bravery is very necessary. I'm going to give you guys a little story about me and how some bravery helped me overcame some challenging moments in my life. And I'm going to tell you guys about a story of me 12 years ago back in Africa. Should I go ahead, David, with that?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Feel free.
Okay. So 12 years ago, I was brave enough to make a decision to leave America and go to Niger, West Africa, for someone that I loved dearly and cared about with my children. And while I was in Africa, I never really had the finances to take care of myself or my children. So we had to rely on my father-in-law at the time to help us financially. So what ended up happening is that it was very challenging getting support from him. Anytime we wanted support, he would either create an argument or something like that. But let me bring you to a specific day that changed my life forever in Africa. See,
Yeah.
that day was the day that I had to watch my 2-year-old son almost died from malnutrition because I
Wow.
didn't have money to feed him. I didn't have any money to get the medication that he needed.
Mm,
See, as a stranger in a country that I don't even speak the language, and 97% is a different culture than where I'm from, no family, no support. I remember had to become brave enough to know that I have to get out of this situation. See, I almost lost my baby
mm,
boy because of 10 US dollars and change. So I made
mm,
the decision that day that I will never let myself be in the position and the situation again where I can't feed my children, I can't take care of my family.
yeah.
Never make myself be in that position again.
Mm,
I remember praying that day, like, God, don't let me lose my baby boy. Don't let me lose him over $10. And that's how come I started my journey of becoming an entrepreneur. To be brave enough to step out in life and to say, I'm going to become an entrepreneur to do it for myself and for my children. And that's what I ended up had to do. So my journey with entrepreneurship started 12 years ago, and I started building that legacy. And I want to talk to you guys about how important it is to be brave so you could step out your comfort zone and build that legacy for yourself and your family.
yeah.
See, when we're in a situation like the one that I just described and the one that I was in,
Yeah.
we have to be brave enough to say, okay, enough is enough. I want to
Mm,
change my situation. I want to change my circumstances. I want to make a difference in life. I want to step out and give myself and my children a different
mm,
lifestyle. And what we have to do is be brave enough to start on that journey. I'll go into
yeah.
that a little bit more. Go ahead, David.
All right. Thank you very much, Kessa. Your story is really, really interesting. Okay. So now you talked about a turning point for you. Okay. It opens up the conversation that no man is born brave. That bravery is a conscious decision every man must open to. Okay. So I'm saying this because a lot of persons are faced with the issue of fear, with the issue of cowardice, issue of when situations come up, they are not able to brace up to it. All right. I'll share a very critical story, real life experience. So I lost my father. I lost my dad June 2nd this year, June 2nd. And before I lost my father, there were a lot of things that my dad would always shield from me. Okay. He stood in front of me. He made sure I didn't experience a couple of things because he was there. Now, losing my dad exposed me to a lot of things. Losing my dad exposed me to a life I wasn't prepared. Leadership fell on me, responsibilities fell on me, and I'm the only son in my family. Now, with all of that, I have personal aspirations, I have dreams, I have a couple other things. But you see, it is just normal to sulk and sit back and be like, life has dealt me a huge blow. But you see, there has to be something. And for every story that turned out great, there was a different experience. You see, we must always approach life with a level of difference that life must submit to. You see, when experience happens to us, experience will do a couple of things. Experience will make or mar depending on your internal conditioning. So I'm saying this because a lot of persons are at that point where life happens to them, and life will always happen. For as long as life exists, it will happen to you. You can never plan out unforeseen circumstances. Never. Best of systems are always affected. The best of people are always affected. So you see, the unforeseen experience that occurs in life is an opportunity that gives us to experience a level of capacity building that regular patterns will not allow us. Okay. So what happened? I had to brace up to the responsibility. I had to tell myself, okay, one of the periods I had to pray because I was with him in the hospital before he died. He was in the hospital for like 2 weeks and 4 days, and then he died. Now I was there throughout everything. At the end of that period, when thing happened, I had to pray. I prayed to God for strength and wisdom. These things. Why was I asking for strength and wisdom? Because I needed the strength to face what was. I needed the strength to face a lot of things. Now, what that did for me is open my eyes to realize my battle, my fight is different. At this point now, life has happened to me, and I must accept the difference that comes with my fight. So it means that everybody has a different battle. But you see, the uniting factor in every battle is the requirement of courage and bravery. So, bravery, nobody is born with bravery. Bravery is an intentional decision that people must take. So, for the persons that are at different points in life, it's not even just about a circumstance itself. I was telling somebody, okay, you saw the picture of my friend that got married. So I was discussing with him, and I told him, I said, getting married in itself is bravery. It takes a lot of courage to get married because the responsibilities are enormous. You can't, it doesn't end. Now, some people think it's just about providing financially and other things. No, the leadership of a home, the leadership of the destinies of people are now entrusted in your hands. So it takes a level of bravery to believe that you have what it takes to lead these people to the point where they're supposed to be. All right, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. So as the conversation goes on, we're going to look at how to assess bravery. Okay, how can people become brave in the face of circumstance? How can people become brave in the face of things, even in starting up a business? Entrepreneurship is bravery in itself because you're going against the norm. Take for instance, if you're starting something new, if you're starting a new business, you have to battle a lot of things. What ifs? You have to battle the what if. What if it doesn't work? What if this doesn't go as planned? What if this happens? What if that happens? But you see, everybody that ever became brave, they always asked that question. They went past that point and they went ahead to do what they were supposed to do. Okay, so Kessa, I want you, in your own opinion, how do you think people can build capacity to be brave? How can you build bravery in the face of circumstance, the face of life? How can you?
Have you always wanted to start your own business, your own nonprofit? Are you a closet entrepreneur? Well, Kessa can help you set up everything from your 501c status in less than 90 days. Help with business taxes and back taxes. She's your personal business assistant. So contact her today at www.camfinancialsgroup.com. That's KAM financialsgroup.com.
Yes. So, and sorry to hear about your dad. And, I commend you for stepping up and being that leader that you are, because it's
Thank you.
really great, that we take up that role. With me, I live with a philosophy or a policy when it comes to fear and dealing with fear and how to become brave. And one of my mentor taught me a while back, and I started using it, and that's what helped me to become brave each
Yeah,
day. You see, what he taught is that whenever something comes up, even if you're scared of it, you must face it, you must follow
yeah,
it, and you must fix it.
yeah,
Fix it, follow it, and fix it. No matter how uncomfortable you feel with that, you face the situation by
true.
going towards it, by looking at it and saying, okay, this is coming up in my life for a reason. Why is it coming
Mm,
up? My father is no longer here. I have to be a leader.
yeah,
So face that fact. That's the fact. Then you
mm,
follow it. What does becoming a leader do for me? Where does it take me? You follow it.
mm,
You follow it as much as you can every single day you can. You get up, you show up and follow it. And then if there's a problem with that, you fix it. How can I
yeah,
become a better leader?
yeah,
How can I fix the situation? You fix what you're in. So face it, follow it, and fix it helps you to become even more brave. If you have these embedded in your head and something comes up that's very uncomfortable, okay, follow
yeah,
these procedure, and I can guarantee you that it will make it a lot easier for you to face, follow, and fix anything that comes in your way. When it comes to fear, because fear is false evidence appearing real. It comes in your
True.
in your life to trick you, to make you think that, okay, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't, I'm going to fail, and stuff like that. But when you have the bravery to know that you can do it, even if your
Mm.
mind tells you can't do it, have that bravery to know that you can do it and face that fear, because it's false evidence appearing real. So face it, follow it, and fix it. And that's my method that I utilize to help me in many situations. And even with entrepreneurship, I've been an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. Technically, I said 12 years because that's when I first started my business on paper. But in
Yeah.
reality, I became an entrepreneur since I was 8 years old, because I was
Mm.
selling newspaper, I was selling candy, and I was selling all these home goods back in Jamaica.
Wow.
So becoming an entrepreneur, it's like, I know people feel the fear of like, okay, I'm not going to have a secure job, I'm not going to have a
Yeah.
secure income, right? But
Yeah.
once we're brave enough and strong enough and have the courage to just leap out there and take one step at a time, then we will
Yeah.
be able to complete this entrepreneurial journey, or start the entrepreneurial journey to build that life and legacy for you and your family.
Yeah. Very true. Very true, Kessa. What you're saying is very true because I like your mantra says, face it, follow it, and then fix it. All right. Face it, follow it, and fix it. You realize that too many times by default, our default desire is to hide away from experiences. Now, I want to say something. Now, when you talk about facing it, I want to point out the fact that one way to face it in any situation you are in is to identify where you are at the moment. Where are you at the center of the things happening in your life? If you are broke, you must tell yourself the truth. I'm broke. If you do not have anything, you must tell yourself the truth. I understand the culture of faith, you see, but you must, as a matter of importance, be truthful to yourself, and you must identify. You must start from known to unknown. You must begin from a point. You tell yourself, this is where I am. My business not working. This is where I am. Okay. There is nobody I can turn to for this. This is where I am. Or this is where I am. I need people to do this. This is where I am. Or I'm trying to push this idea. I'm stuck at this point. This is where I am. But we must be truthful, first of all, to ourselves. To assess bravery, like I said at the beginning, you must identify where you are. Where are you at the center of the things happening to you? If you are confused, you must own up to confusion. You must tell yourself the truth. I am confused at this point. There's something one of my mentors always say, Olakunle Shorian. He says, everybody is ignorant at a level. There is
Oh,
a
yeah.
level of ignorance deposited in every man. You see, now the level of ignorance creates room for connectivity. That what you are ignorant of, someone else has it in abundance. That there must be synergy. You see, even in the conversation of creation, there's this thing where they said the Bible says, and then God made man, and then God said it was very good, right? And then God said it was very good. Now there's this theory that very good is a step below perfection. Very good is a step below perfection. God could have, when God made, he said it was good. When God made man, he said it was very good. It's a step below perfection. It's a step below excellence. What does that tell you? It means that God left a level of imperfection in man. That the connectivity, the networking of man will allow for optimal performance. Okay, is the reason why there's a theory of no man island. When you identify where you are, the next thing you need to do is identify what must you do to move from where you are. No, before you even what must you do, the next thing, identify where do you need to be. Haven't identified where you are, the next thing, identify where you need to be. All right. At this point of my life now, I know that I'm trying to start up a business. I have no knowledge of this business. I have no idea about this business. Then what do I need? Where do I want to go to? Where do I see this business going to? When you identify these things, the next thing, who do you need? What do you need? You see, bravery in itself is not an independent experience. Bravery in itself is triggered by a couple of factors. You see, for some people, certain things might inspire bravery in them. I'll give a very clear example. Growing up, growing up, you will find that certain children are always afraid of darkness, and when they find themselves in darkness, they become afraid. But you see, the moment they turn on the light, courage comes. Even if it's just a touchlight, courage comes. They find courage. Something will trigger courage. Courage is not independent in itself. Something must awaken the courage in a man. So we're still dealing on face it, something must awaken courage. So you must find for yourself in the face of what you're going through. What is that thing triggers you, that pushes you to the point where you just do not want to stay down? You must identify it. For some people, it is the need to succeed, and the need to succeed drives them out of that level of fear. So identify it. That thing in itself is a fuel for you. Identify it and then know how to use it. All right, because you see, I tell people, I say experience gives us the necessary fuel to drive us forward. It gives us the necessary fuel to drive us forward. When experience happens to you, it conditions you for the next thing you're going to face. But we waste too many experiences because we are much more concerned by the smallness of pain than we are about the blessing that pain brings. Pain is a blessing. Every single human experience gives up a blessing to us, but we must be able to assess it. Okay, we must be able to assess it. Okay, but Kessa, I'm still interested in your story, the story you were sharing. I'm really interested in that story. I want you to tell that story to the end, and then pick out some points for us from the story you were telling.
About being in Africa and watching my son almost die.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
and how you
I
come from that point.
yeah, I made the decision that day that I will not rely on anyone to support me. I will
Yeah,
not rely on, like the government, my, husband or anyone to support me. So I wanted to make sure that I was equipped enough to take care of myself and my children for my whole life. And I started the journey of personal development and entrepreneurship. I actually found a book as well that helped me to really clarify what I want to have in life. And that book is called The Secret. If you guys
mm,
have not read The Secret yet or hear about The Secret, I suggest you go on YouTube and look for The Secret, because The Secret is one book that helped impact my life as well. You see, as a mom, I don't remember what age I was. I probably was 22 years old, almost seeing my child die in a country that I have no family, no resources, no,
yeah,
don't speak the language and stuff like that. I had to be brave to say, okay,
yeah,
first of all, to get into that country, I had to be brave to say, okay, I'm going there. But to
yeah,
leave that country took more than just bravery. It took the courage to
mm,
actually say, okay, I'm going to leave this country and I'm going to take my life back into my own hands and take my power back
mm,
and build back who I was, because I wasn't like that before I got into that situation. I had my two-bedroom apartment. I was doing well with college, and I had my job. So when I gave all of that up because I was being brave enough to follow my heart and to follow love, it's like, okay, I ended up homeless, no money to take care of my children, and in a situation where I had to be dependent on someone else other than, myself. And
mm,
I had to be brave to take back the power that I gave up and said, okay, I'm going to build that life for myself. And that's how I start the entrepreneurial journey. That's how I
mm,
start back with that, and with the self development and personal development. I would say the courage to dream
mm,
is one of the biggest courage that we need to have. We need to be
mm,
brave enough to dream beyond what we see with our eyes, beyond the
mm,
situation that we are currently in. If we can just be brave enough to dream, the how things is going to happen will trans- transpire on its own. But if we just dream, brave enough to dream of a better life, for ourselves, for our children, for our legacy,
Yeah.
if we can dream that better life, it will fall into place. And as we were talking about earlier, with having, the courage to identify where you're at right now in life, identify it. Don't have the ego to say, okay, I'm big and I'm, no. Identify in reality where you're at in life, and have the courage to dream to be bigger and better than where you're at, to
Mm.
change your circumstances, to change your situation, and to change that legacy, to build that legacy for yourself, your children, and your family. Because that's where, how you're going to find that power, that fuel that, David talked about. You're going to find that fuel by knowing your why. See, when
Mm.
you know your why, you will have fuel for the rest of your life. And your
True.
why meaning, why am I existing in life today? Why am I here? What's my purpose? Why did
Mm.
God create me to come into life right now at this specific moment, even though the world looks so chaotic? Why did he
Yeah.
create me? Out of 8 billion people on the planet, he makes each and every one of us very uniquely and identify us individually. That means he has a plan for us
Yeah.
individually.
Mm.
So if God can know your why out of 8 billion people by creating you so unique, then you have to realize your why. See, I get up every day. I know my why is to get up and serve. So I always have the fuel to serve. Because
Mm.
if I just come here and leave the earth and nobody knew I existed, then I didn't fulfill my why. I didn't fulfill the purpose that God created me for. But when you
Mm.
understand your why and the purpose that God creates you for,
Yeah.
nothing can stop you. You are unstoppable in this world. You will have the bravery and the courage to do anything your heart and your mindset and desire. And the Bible also tells you, anything that you desire in my name, you shall ask for it and you will receive it. And that's part of
Yeah.
identifying your why.
True. True. Amazing. Amazing. Very amazing. So you have to identify your why. Wow. This is a very rich conversation, because you said your why is to serve. Your why is to serve, and it's why you wake up every morning. It puts you out there every day. So it reminded me of something someone once said. He said that if the reason why you are to be given a chance at life every other day, if the reason why you should wake up every day is because of how much of destiny you have found, or why you are existing, a lot of persons will not wake up because they've not found out why they are, and they're not putting in enough effort to why they are here. All right, so what you're saying is very important. When you understand why, it will guide you in a season where courage is missing. It will
Exactly.
guide you. It reminds me of a scripture. The Bible says Jesus, for the joy that was set ahead, he endured the cross.
Mm,
So he drew strength from the why. Why was he there? He was there because of what was to happen after the cross. When he dies, he will draw everybody to himself. That in itself gave him the courage to face the cross. And
mm,
it's important because there's also another scripture I remember. And we're talking about a lot of scriptures today. Okay, so there's another scripture I remember where where they wanted to lay hands on Jesus to kill him, but the Bible says that they could not do him harm because his time had not come. So it means that if we understand our why, circumstance cannot hold us down. Our why is the fuel that keeps us going in the midst of pain. You see, there's something they always say in Africa here: he that has seen tomorrow cannot die today. If you have seen tomorrow will build the capacity to resist the pain today. It will build the capacity to focus and move on that tomorrow you have seen. So we must understand why. Until we know why we're doing what we're doing. I told you at the beginning, I said for the part where we talked about facing it, for the part of facing it, you must understand where you are. Now, when having understood all things, the next thing you must know why. Why are you in this situation? You see, too many persons allow life happen to them without asking questions. If you just allow things happen to you without asking questions, you miss the purpose of that experience. Every experience comes with a blessing. The blessing might be a lesson, it might be some knowledge you need to get, but there is always a blessing in every experience. Okay, so we must identify why. Why are we doing what we're doing? Why are we at this point in our lives now? Okay, so I want to channel this. I want to channel this towards the angle of entrepreneurship and relationship. Okay, we talked about bravery. That entrepreneurship in itself is an act of bravery. It's a leap of faith that never ends. I said something at the beginning. I said life in itself is a leap of faith that never ends. And then entrepreneurship in itself is a leap of faith that will never end. It's a step in a direction that sometimes you are not even certain. Okay, so and I know a lot of persons are building tenacity towards entrepreneurship. They are building capacity in entrepreneurship. So what is your take, Kesa? How do you think that these young entrepreneurs can build the necessary resilience in the area of entrepreneurship, considering the fact that a lot of rejection happens in entrepreneurship? A lot of rejection. You put out proposals, you put out things, and then people are turning up. Okay, let's say you're running an NGO, you put out something for an event, and people are not turning up for it, or you're driving social change, and then it looks like you're really trying to change society, but society is not even supporting you to change the society that needs to be changed. Okay, you're putting out a business, you're not getting support even from family, friends. So how do you navigate this thing and then still maintain focus in your business and in your enterprise, social enterprise that you're pursuing?
Have you always wanted to start your own business, your own nonprofit? Are you a closet entrepreneur? Well, Kessa can help you set up everything from your 501c status in less than 90 days. Help with business taxes and back taxes. She's your personal business assistant. So contact her today at www.camfinancialsgroup.com. That's KAM financialsgroup.com.
Yes, David. So, how do we change society? See, first of all, we can't change society. See, society
Mm,
will always be the way it is, and it's like that for a reason. We can only change ourselves. See,
mm,
when we change ourselves, then we can impact others who are next to us, who
mm,
wants to be impacted. I think when we start out on the journey of becoming an entrepreneur or a change maker or a free thinker or a freedom lifestyle person, what we think is that everyone should become like us. Everyone should do it. And that frustrates us. See, when we're starting from that point to say everyone should do it, we're actually leading from an ego perspective.
mm,
See, if we're leading from a heart centered perspective, everyone is not going to do it. It's impossible for everyone to do what we are doing. See, what we
mm,
came here to do was create our legacy. And our legacy
mm,
doesn't mean 8 billion people following us. Our legacy
mm,
means whoever should follow us, whoever should be impacted by what we're doing, they are the one
mm,
who's going to follow us. And if we're
mm,
just contented with that, whether it's one person, if we're contented with one person following our legacy, following what we are about, and while
yeah.
we're living, then we will make the true social impact that we need to make one person at a time. So
Mm,
we don't have to impact everybody. We don't have
mm,
to change society. Society, and also another thing is once you learn how to accept you, you don't have to worry about the society accepting you. See, that's one
mm,
of the biggest thing you have to learn when you become an entrepreneur or a change maker is that you're going to feel rejection everywhere you go. You're going to get rejection from people who are closed-minded, people who are negative-minded, but it's okay. It's okay for them to reject you. But how you go about processing that rejection? By you accepting you wholeheartedly, by you loving you wholeheartedly and loving what you're doing completely. Because if not, we'll get discouraged when society knocks us down, when society don't accept us. We'll get very discouraged. But if we should know that we're not here to change the world, we're just here to add value to it. We want to add value to our own lives and the lives of others who come directly or indirectly connected by us. So once we understand that, then we can move forward. Another thing is, like, for example, what I'm doing with Global Awaken Initiative Inc. Every Friday, we're doing a training that we're training people to become entrepreneur, people who want to become entrepreneurs, and who wants a community of entrepreneur that they can lean on, so that even if the outside society rejects you, don't worry. This is a community you could come to and feel safe in, because this is a community of entrepreneur, new entrepreneur like yourself, and experienced entrepreneur. We do that every Friday at 11 a.m. US time, which will be 7 p.m. Nigeria time. So, if you guys would like to join that community, it's Love Bring Peace Tech Community on Facebook. It's a group. You guys could join it, or just comment below, and we'll send you information if you want to join that and join the training as well. But
Yeah.
remember, bravery comes from understanding who you are.
Mm.
We can't go nowhere if we don't anywhere if we don't understand who we are as a human being. See, who we are becoming every single day is what we need to understand, so that we can use the bravery to become. When life happens and things happen, it's not happening to hurt you, it's not happening to discourage you. It's actually happening to help you become who you are meant to
Yeah.
become. Let's think about this. How do they make gold? How do they make gold, or even diamond? Right? They have to apply
Yeah.
fire. Even a knife blade, they have to apply fire to it. The alchemy
True.
of gold, they have to apply fire. So think of pain as fire. Think of pain
Mm.
as something that's refining you. Okay,
Mm.
and then when you think of it like that, then you will be able to know that you're refining yourself. Life is refining you to become who you are meant to be in this world. So
Very,
becoming who you are requires the bravery to understand who you are. Go ahead, David.
are you okay? Sorry, my network has issues. Okay, so now life is refining you. That is an amazing conversation, Kessa. We're really behind time. Really. Okay, so um we're going to have this session again, Kessa. We're really going to have this session, all right? Because we're discussing very critical issues. A lot of persons will need courage to face life. I said at some point, I said marriage in itself, it's a leap of faith. I said now there are too many persons that they are at a point where they need to actually get married. They need to step into even a relationship, but the call to do so is not there. Taking someone else and bringing that person into your life is a lot of courage. It's a whole lot of courage that a lot of persons do not have yet. So there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things. When we talk about be brave with your life, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things, and the fact that you see, you said we are here to add value to life. Very beautiful conversation. So he said we have to start by adding value to ourselves. We must change ourselves so we can in turn change society. Because we cannot give what we do not have. It must flow from within. So that is an amazing conversation. So I really want us to tie it at a particular point now, so we can bring this particular session to an end. But in okay, before we do that, I want to really stress on the fact that the training that you're having for entrepreneurs is really important. Is really really important. At the end of this session, you also comment the name of the group and every other information that we need to have. You put it down so everybody can have it, but you still say it again so everybody can be a part of it. I said something at the beginning. I said networking was created by God. It's an important aspect of human existence. You would never truly find the fullness of your human expression until you network with certain persons that can pull out what you have with you. Okay. So very at the end of all of this for today, Kessa, you shared something. You talked about your entrepreneurship journey. Now, you talked about how you were able to start against all odds, and what you're doing has really grown to the point where it is now. Now, so I want to ask you, what were the challenges you faced, and how did you surmount it?
David, can you hear me?
No, because you see, a lot of persons are at the point where they're trying to start something. The discouragement is always there, like we said. It's always there. It's always going to be there. Okay, so what was it like for you starting up? Okay, okay, and then yeah, there's also another thing I want to say. Some persons feel starting a business and then it fails. They feel it's like it's a sign that stuff is not supposed to work. They say that this thing is not supposed to work for you. What is your take on that? Because I personally feel it's not okay. People, you can do, if something fails the first time, do it again. If it fails again, just keep trying. Okay, so what do you think? Give us your concluding thoughts on all of this.
Okay, so if you guys know Thomas Edison, he creates the light bulb that we use in our homes. It took him 1,001 time to get the light bulb to work. You can look at it as he failed at it 1,000 times and succeed once. But no, it took him 1,001 try to be successful with it. I say this to say that when you start a business, it may not work out right away. It may be the wrong kind of business, but the fact that you have the courage and the idea to even imagine and dream to even start a business means that you have the entrepreneurial spirit somewhere inside of you. Now you got to dig deep to bring that entrepreneurial spirit out. And when you bring that spirit out, whatever business you're going to end up doing, if it's not passion based, if it's not purpose based, you will not be successful with that business. So make sure you find a way to tie your heart and your passion with any business that you want to do to make money. Because if you only go by it to say, I'm going to make money and it's just about money, of course that business is going to fail. But if you go
True.
in and said, I'm going to serve others, I'm going to provide this service to them, this excellent service, and after serving them, I'm going to receive money, then it will flow okay and it will work well, and you will be able to become successful with that business. I've had
Hmm.
many challenges and failures with my businesses. Right now, I own five companies, and I've had many challenges. But I persevere with them because I knew the moment I started my business was never about money, was about how can I impact the lives of the people I'm going to serve. How can I impact them? How can I help service them? How can I bring the best value that I can bring to them? And when I figure that out, and even though sometimes things doesn't work out in my business, I keep on being persevering, because if I don't persevere with my business, then I didn't go in it with the right intentions in the first place. So setting the intention first of why you're going into business, like knowing that why, that is a very key important thing to know. And when you face the challenges that you're going to face with business, always go back to your why. Always go back. Why did you start the business in the first place? And if your why is not heart centered, if it's not purpose driven, and if it's not to serve humanity at the same time, then switch your business.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing, amazing. If your why is not to serve humanity, then quit your business. Amazing. Okay, so I will say something and then we'll bring this to an end. I've always believed that business, the business that would be sustainable, any enterprise or any idea that would stay relevant in coming years should be such that we go beyond just meeting your needs. It should become a tool for societal impact. It should become a tool for service. Now look at the big brands, GM, all of the big brands, okay? Samsung, all of them. These brands have grown beyond just the art of buying and selling. They have now become a reference point for the countries where they are established. Okay, you talk about the Fortune 500 companies in the United States. These companies are now a reason of reference to the United States. They add value. Come to Nigeria, talk about Dangote, talk about plenty companies in Africa. They are now becoming reference points. That when you grow what you're doing must come to a point where it should add value to society. If it doesn't transition, if it doesn't go through this transition, there will be a problem. You will stay stuck. You can't increase in value, and you can't demand value, higher value, because money is value that exchanges for value. All right. So the more value your service is adding to society, the more value you are having in the eyes of society, and the more financial value you are accumulating for what you're doing. Okay. So it takes courage, but you must be somewhere. Where are you at the center of everything that is happening to you right now? Where are you at the center of your dreams? There are too many dreams on paper. We have too many ideas on paper. Where are you now at the center of everything? You must know that. Now, having known this, the next thing you must begin to take steps. Okay, Kessa Goodin is here. Reach out to her. Send her a friend request on Facebook. Send her a message. Tell her you're trying to do something. You need guidance. She will give you counsel. She will guide you. I shared something before. I said, when you're starting an idea or a business, the first thing you need is a consultant, not mentor. You first need a consultant that will sit with you and guide you through the field of what you're doing. Once clarity comes, once you have tangible action points, then you can seek mentorship on a path that is clear. So what we're going to do for you is give you the necessary consultancy that you need. Reach out to Kessa, reach out to me, reach out to us. There is a lot that needs to be done. You should not stay stuck. Take that step. Be brave. You have written too many things down. Take that step. Begin to do something. When I started the Rise Show, I had written it down for long, but I was delaying on it. I began to take steps. I had to do something. Until you move, you will never receive support. Until you move, you will never see provision. Until you move, you will never ever see networks. Okay, so I want us, as you're here now, just before we end, as this session comes to an end, whatever you do, put down your name on the comment section. Put down your name, type what you do. Somebody on this comment section can have the value you're looking for. Put down your name on this comment section, what you do, where you're located, and probably if you're looking out for a certain level of connectivity, put it out there. You see, the world has become a small village. I was telling somebody today, I said that borderlessness is the new gold. You see, wealth that be recognized is that which has broken the border of territories. Actually, border, the idea of borders is a mental creation. You see, social media has come to breach that. You can stay here now and you can build a massive community across the world. What does that tell you? Power is in. What does that tell you? Bravery is just before you. There will be no excuse. There will be no excuse. If the likes of Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller, if the likes of Rockefeller were born today, you see, they would have done much more. If they could do what they did then, imagine what can happen now. You see, people that laid the foundation for which we are to build upon. If they look at what we have now, the opportunities available to us, and the excuses we are giving, then they would shake their heads because we have. So the generation that has the most available resource is the generation that is filled with the most excuse. What does that tell you? It means that your destiny is in your hands. Bravery is in your hands. You must take a step. Take a step, do something. Thank you very much, Kessa. Thank you very much. I'm really grateful.
Thanks for having me.
It's really an exciting time having this conversation.
Thank you. And I also, David,
Thank you.
I want to leave the audience to know that life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's a full journey that you have to take time to complete that journey day by day. So don't try to sprint through it and think I'm going to get to the top, because in honesty, there's no top. It's a complete journey. Experience that journey and enjoy that journey. So thank you guys for having me, and reach out to me if you need any help or support or mentorship. Thank you. Thank you, David.
Thank you. So thank you. So everyone watching, everyone that has been a part of this conversation, thank you very much. Thank you. Don't forget, put down your names, comment your location and what you do, what you're probably seeking connections for. Thank you very much. Do well to share this video, share it to friends, create a watch party and all. Thank you very much.
Have you always wanted to start your own business, your own nonprofit? Are you a closet entrepreneur? Well, Kessa Goodin can help you set up everything from your 501c status in less than 90 days, help with business taxes and back taxes, She's your personal business assistant. So contact her today at www.camfinancialsgroup.com. That's KAM financialsgroup.com.